I've been subjected to seeing so many shows and movies go woke lately that it was very surprising for me to see a show go in the opposite direction. This show, 911 Lone Star, is a tale of redemption. And, yeah, I'm being dramatic about it because I think it deserves it. It deserves me making a big deal out of it because when a mainstream show manages to punch through the mob that demands wokeness at every turn, it's commendable. 911 Lone Star is a spin-off of 911, much like how CSI New York and CSI Miami were spin-offs of CSI Las Vegas. The creators are Brad Falchuk and Ryan Murphy, and since I adore 911 so much, I was ecstatic to watch another show of the same kind. The show airs on Fox and Hulu if you are interested. Given my initial excitement, you can imagine my level of disappointment when the first episode of 911 Lone Star starts out with Captain Owen Strand being assigned by the NYPD fire chief to transfer to Austin, Texas to start a firehouse there, based on diversity. When I think of firefighters, a few things come to mind, but diversity is not one of them. I don't care what the firefighter looks like. The things that I think of are physical fitness level, strength, courage, and bravery, to name a few. Can they run up a bunch of stairs without losing their breath because you can't use the elevators when there's a fire? Can they quickly grab someone and throw them over their shoulder and run out of a burning building? Are they strong enough to use an axe to bust down a door that may be really thick? Are they brave enough to not hesitate when they need to get someone out of a building? I think you get the point. Once again, though, what color eyes or hair they have or how diverse the team is has zero effect on a life or death situation. This storyline smelled a lot like woke pandering, and I was very annoyed to say the least. As I kept watching the episode, however, because I do like watching Rob Lowe, who plays Captain Strand, one thing stuck out to me. The episode felt like it was written by two distinct groups of people. One group of writers was normal, and the other group of writers was woke. Anytime Captain Strand and another firefighter, Judd, whom he meets in Texas, were on screen together, their conversations were all about the storyline. Anytime the diversity quota hired firefighters were on screen together, the conversations were empty, vapid, propaganda garbage. Are your hands bored? Are they tired of being naked all the time? Most of your body is covered by clothes, but not your hands. Unless it's cold, then your hands get to wear gloves, but even then, that just means your hands are freezing. Bedazzle your hands by visiting elisabianca.com. Get yourself some beautiful rings and bracelets. I got silver, but the site also has gold and rose gold as options for some of the pieces. Most of the jewelry is suitable for everyday wear when you just need a little sparkle. Go to elisabianca.com and use the code VeronicaB25 for 25% off. Again, that's VERONICAB25. It made the show very strange to watch. It was like I was suspending disbelief while watching Captain Strand and Judd, immersed in their characters' lives. But as soon as the diversity hires came on, it was like I was being preached to by CNN. I could tell the writing was about identity politics with the diversity hires because they had one of each victim group. The feminist Muslim who wanted to prove herself by being daring and over the top despite already being Instagram famous in the show. She had to prove, I'm a strong woman who wants to be a firefighter, and not only that, but Muslims are just like everyone else. Yeah, we all know that. Stop treating us like we're idiots. Jesus Christ. At least the normal among us know that. There are different religions in the country, and it's fine. Common sense, people. There's a very awkward, disjointed scene in season 1 where the feminist Muslim doesn't fit into the mosque she goes to because, according to the terrible writing, she just doesn't fit in this traditional mosque. She has an awkward conversation with a fellow mosque goer, and the person tells her, well, just shop around, you'll find one you like. The pointlessness of that whole scene was astronomical. Then, in another episode, they go on a call to a grain silo and her hijab falls off, and they make a huge deal about that. Yes, we know. The custom is to hide her hair, and it's bad if she doesn't. What does that have to do with anything? The answer is nothing. This has nothing to do with anything, except identity politics. The second victim group they had was a gay person who is Captain Strand's son, and he just preached to everyone about how hard it is to be gay. The third victim group was a trans man who, again, just preaching about how hard it is to be trans. No one wants to hear about these victim cards. It's tired, nonsensical, exhausting, exasperating, and not entertaining. Believe me, we all hear about this leftist propaganda shit enough in our real-life social media, even when we don't go looking for it. The last place we need this shit is in entertainment. Fuck this. Despite the half of the show that gave me a headache, Captain Strand and Judd were interesting enough that I kept watching the show. I got through a tiresome season 1 and prayed to God that season 2 would be better. It turns out my prayers worked, because halfway through season 2, the show did a complete 180. It was like the heavens parted and angels sang. It suddenly felt like the woke writers had vaporized. Maybe they got fired because the ratings sucked. I don't know, but what I do know is that they were gone. All of a sudden, I was able to enjoy an entire episode of Lone Star because it was all well-written storyline. This was the moment of redemption for the show. I stopped looking at the diversity hires as the feminist Muslim, the trans man, and the gay guy. Suddenly, I saw them as Marjan, the caring, fearless female firefighter, Paul, the firefighter from Chicago who loves his job, and TK, Captain Strand's son, a recovering drug addict. As soon as the writing changed and gave these characters actual personalities, rather than pretending their identities were their personalities, I, as the viewer, saw them. 911 Lone Star was such a bad show before its redemption that I remember the exact moment the show did a 180. The team was on a 911 call to an ice cream shop because an employee had gotten her hand stuck in the ice cream machine. A group of rowdy teenage customers was laughing at the employee's pain and filming it on their phones. Marjan gets upset at them because she can't believe how heartless they are that they would laugh at someone who might potentially lose her arm. Not only that, they are filming this person's pain and broadcasting it to social media so others like them can laugh at it too. Remember I mentioned earlier that Marjan was Instagram famous? A good show remembers details like that and ties them into the storyline. Marjan ends up using her Instagram celebrity status to film the teenagers and makes a reel condemning them by explaining what they're doing, thereby shaming them for their terrible behavior. At that moment, Marjan did something that was completely outside of any political narrative, and she cemented her place in the show as a character with a real personality, one of caring and fearlessness. She wasn't afraid to stand up to those bullies. My favorite character is Owen Strand, the captain. He has a lot of strength. After having a hard life being a firefighter in 9/11 and getting lung cancer. Despite that, he manages to be a jovial guy and he has a lot of little quirks which are funny. At one point, he offers to teach the other male firefighters about moisturizer, which is important for everyone, but it's funny because men don't often outwardly talk about things like skincare. My second favorite character is Judd, the Texas firefighter that Owen meets when he arrives in Austin. Judd is the only survivor of the 126 fire station after they had an accident on a call. Him and Owen develop a close friendship because of the common thread of both of them having survived a traumatic incident where they lost friends while on the job. Another unique thing about Lone Star is that it openly portrays Christianity. I feel weird even saying openly portrays Christianity because in America we are supposed to have freedom of religion, yet it feels like nowadays it's bad to say you like Christianity or that you are Christian. All the Christianity is usually contained in cheesy Christian movies on some app you can add to your television. But here we see that Judd is a Christian character and he's proud of it, so proud in fact that he has a tattoo on his hand of one of the Psalms. I forget which verse. But the show does a good job of including Christianity in its storyline without being preachy, which is the correct way to have religion in a show. In a world where redemption and forgiveness seem to be forgotten, lost arts, I give 911 Lone Star my forgiveness for managing to pull its head out of its ass. I've continued watching the show, which is in its third season now, and it has continued to be a show that earns the redemption I gave it at the time I noticed the things I've mentioned in this video. I highly recommend the show, which again is on Fox and Hulu. That will do it for this video, and remember, forgiveness is something that we all have the power to grant. I'll see you on the next video.